Hi guys, it's Arsh Ellahi. Hope you're well, and more importantly, I hope you're safe. Today's session is all about how to get started in property. I've got some notes, so if I do look down there, please disregard it. First of all, thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're finding it of value. And more importantly, if you're new to the channel, please press the subscribe button just there. So today I thought I'd give you a quick session as to how to get started in property. There's lots of people that want to get involved in property, but they don't really understand the steps and the stuff that you need to do before you actually start looking or you starting to invest. So one of the greatest sayings that I've heard recently is that the journey is always greater than the destination. So what I'm saying to you is that enjoy the journey, because sometimes when you get to the destination, it's not what you thought it was going to be. So I'm a big advocate of that. That's why I enjoy the stuff that I do. I enjoy the deal trading that I do. I enjoy all the other bits, because I know that once I get to that level of success or where I want to be, that I'll probably think, okay, is that it? Right, so tip number one, I'm going to give you 5 tips. So tip number 1, question, and this is quite a broad question. Why? Why do you want to get into property? Is it because you want to generate cash flow? Or is it because you want to generate or create freedom for you and your family? And they're two different things. Cash flow will give you the monthly income. Now, freedom will give you the ability to do what you want, when you want, and with who you want. So you've got to really look at this, and you've also really got to have a look and take stock of your life and understand, how much cash flow, how much money do you need every month to be able to survive? What would success look to you? So is it like £2,000 a month, £5,000 a month? Or you could look at it from a different way. Is that, I'm currently in a job, perhaps by getting involved in property, it will allow me time and freedom so that I can go traveling, spend more time with family, etc. So they're two complete different reasons, but you need to really identify from your own point of view what that looks like. Step number 2, big one. What are your key strengths? And I say this because people just say, I'm going to get involved in property. And naturally they say, what makes the most money? I'm going to get, it's cash flow, it's HMO, they produce the most cash flow. Therefore, I'm going to follow the HMO model. Not the best way of doing it. The reason why I say that is because you may not like HMOs. You may not like the way that they're managed. You may not like the fact that you're having to deal with tenants or letting agents or management and any of that. So therefore, you've got to understand, what is it that is your key strength? Is it that you're very good at negotiating? Is it that you're very good at communication? And then you work your strategy, which takes us on to step number 3 and step number 4 in a second, is that with your key strengths, what strategy kind of works best within your skill set? If you're a negotiator, perhaps you're the best negotiator you've ever come across or that people have ever dealt with. Therefore, are you a deal maker? If you're a deal maker, therefore, could you be good at deal sourcing? I'm just giving you examples here. Are you good at negotiating rent-to-rent deals? Are you good at negotiating below market value deals? Are you good at dealing with vendors and potential development deals? These are all the things that you've got to take into consideration. Is your communication skills good? Do you lack communication? Do you try not to communicate with people? And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There are all kinds of people out in this world. Because if you don't like dealing with tenants, is buying buy-to-lets and is buying HMOs the right way to go? And these are things that you need to... People always think, get involved in property, it's going to make some money. And money is the be-all or end-all. Money is not the be-all or end-all. Yes, it helps you make better choices and makes it more comfortable. However, you've got to think of, this is something that you're going to possibly be doing for the next 10 to 15 years or whatever time frame it may be. So therefore, you've got to be able to do something that you enjoy. Do you like putting the deal together? Do you like dealing with tenants? Do you like dealing with the maintenance? Are you the problem solver? Are you the negotiator? So these are things that you've got to take into consideration, because this will allow you to determine what strategy you go on. Next one, big one, your circumstances. So your circumstances, we talk about, do you have cash to invest? Or are you time rich, cash poor? which means that you have no cash to invest. Because these will determine not only the kind of properties that you go for, but also the location that you invest within. So, giving you an example, if you've got £50,000 to invest, working on the basis that there's 75% lending available, that will buy you up to a property of up to circa around 160 to 200,000 pounds, taking into consideration some other buying costs, etc., legal, stamp duty, etc. How much, where is that amount of money going to take you? If you're based in London, what can you buy within that location? And I can imagine very little. However, if you go on the outskirts, we start going out and we start heading up north, you can come into the Midlands, you could go further up north, you can go towards Stoke, you could start heading up towards Manchester, Liverpool, Newcastle, Sunderland, Doncaster, etc. So these are all hotspots for properties. So my question is, how much money have you got to invest? Because this will determine the location, which will then take you back to your key strengths as to your communication. The further you go, the better you've got to be at communicating with people. So can you see there's an underlying theme between all these? Step number 4, or tip number 4, your risk profile. I talked about this previously in previous videos. Do you like risk? Or are you risk averse? Two different types of people again. The people that like risks will be the people that want to do larger deals, want to start moving forward quickly, quite aggressive, probably want to do larger deals such as development deals. So they'll start off with pretty much some buy-to-lets, probably then start building up a portfolio buy-to-lets, then start looking at HMOs. After HMOs, and they've got some HMOs, will then start looking at potential like developments. Developments will start going on to larger scale developments, and this is all a process for them. And you've then got the people that are risk averse, which are very happy with buy-to-lets that don't produce massive cash flow, but it's nice, it's steady, and it keeps coming in, month out. It will be let. And they're not really worried about having a massive portfolio, but having a secure portfolio. So again, which camp do you fall in? Finally, tip number 5. Now, for me, this is a huge one. Say yes to everything. If you're starting out from the outset, say yes to everything. Become a lead magnet, become a deal magnet. And the reason why I say that is because I'm a deal magnet. I know I'm a deal magnet. As soon as someone walks through my door and they say, Arsh, I've got a deal, I'll say, okay, yeah, cool, I'm interested. I'm not saying I'm going to buy it because I don't know what the deal is. What I'm doing, I'm saying to them, guys, yeah, I'm interested. I want some further information so I can do the due diligence so that there I've got the opportunity to buy. So say yes to everything, even if it's too big a deal for you right now. Remember, and this is another tip, I should call this tip number 6, but just because you're not interested in it doesn't mean that someone else will not be interested in it. So you've got to be looking to monetize every lead that comes into your possession. If it's not for me, can I sell it on to someone else? And guess what? By doing that, you've then gone into deal trading. So these are tips that you've got to be looking at. And these are the things that you've got to be looking at, especially if you're looking to get started in property. I want to say, finally, that treat property as a marathon, not a sprint. For the guys that go off and sprint out from the outset, they burn out very quickly. You've got to treat it like a marathon, slowly but surely. The hardest part is to get started. And it's like riding a bike. When you first get on the bike, you're a little bit wibbly wobbly, you're not sure about your balance, you're not sure where you're going, or you're going to fall off, etc. Same with property. When you first get started, the hardest thing is getting your first deal. Once your first deal's in and you've built a bit of internal confidence, you say, you know what, to be fair, I'm quite good at this. It starts moving forward. You start moving forward, and therefore the next deal comes along. And because you've learned off property number 1, you started to pick up some tips, not what to do for property number 2. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed that session. If you've got any questions, please ask below. I'll answer as many questions as I can, as I have done for previous videos. More importantly, download the Property Investor app. So the Property Investor app is the UK's first property investment marketplace. So if you're looking for a deal, download the Property Investor app, go to your app store on your phones, whether it's iOS or Android, and type in Property Investor. or go to propertyinvestorapp.co.uk. Finally, have you listened to my new podcast? It's called The Property Rebel. You can find it on iTunes, you can find it on Spotify and Stitcher. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more as to what I'm all about, and if you want a bit more further education, they're perfect ways for you to get involved. On that note, guys, please don't forget to subscribe and also tell friends about the channel. On that note, I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye-bye.